Okay, here we go. Now, this is a obvious knight and pawn endgame. One of the key things about knight endgames is that knights are slow and a little clumsy when it comes to pawn defense. So let's look at the most obvious threat. It's what I call the brute force technique. Make the most obvious threat you can make, and that would be, well, queen. Okay, there's another one. Sometimes this actually works, but not in this position. Check. If I check him, knight takes knight, and if I push this pawn, he's going to play knight to c3 guarding the b1 queen square. It's over. So knight to e4 check double question mark loses. My dad had a rule for this. Find the blunder and don't play it. So we're not going to play knight e4 check. It loses. b3, what happens? If I play b3, I'm going to queen in two moves. Can you get back? Well, he can't play knight to e4. My knight's blocking that. So knight to d5. Or he could actually go check. I move my king over here to stop this guy. Knight d7 check, king to g8 would be the move. He goes knight to c5. He's trailing my pawn. It's not good. b2, and he cannot get to b1. If he checks me here, and then comes after my knight with my pawn with, pardon me, knight to c5, he can't stop the pawn. So this move doesn't work for him. And you have to know, well, there's two ways you can play this. You can play this by figuring it out. That's what we're doing. I like to win. I don't like to get lucky. Well, not in chess anyway. So it ain't luck. When I win in chess, it's not luck. It's because I'm using my brain and I'm thinking. Okay? We could just, push the pawn, and it is self-obvious that you're kind of winning here without too much trouble. Knight d5. We can play this. We can play b2, and he goes knight to c3. He's stopped the pawn, but it doesn't work. And the difference is, without moving a single piece, I told you up front, this doesn't work. Now, I could be guessing. I'm not guessing, okay? And as you watch my videos, if you think I'm guessing and you've never seen my videos, well, that's a legitimate skepticism. There's nothing wrong with that. Make me prove to you I'm as good as I say that I am. That doesn't bother me at all. That means you're smart. So why does this move knight to d5, b3 for black wins by force? Okay. Why does knight to d5 not work? Because knight to b3, number 1. Knight to d5, number 2. b2, number 3. Knight to c3, number 4, and he stopped the pawn. Well, he didn't stop it. I can queen, knight takes queen, and I can no longer win. It's a draw. But I'm winning this game. Why do I win? Because I see something that most of you have yet to see in this position. I haven't even touched a piece. Okay? Now, I have touched pieces for demonstration purposes of moves that do and do not, do good things. Like I touched this knight, but this is not. When I say I haven't touched a piece, I haven't made an actual move. I've made demonstrations of moves that I could make or that I will make in the future. But the win goes like this. And this is what separates the men from the boys. b3, knight to d5. I've already showed you knight to d7 fails. So b3, knight to d5 here. b2, knight to c3. And we don't find the blunder and don't play it. We found the blunder of knight checks, don't play it. So when he goes knight to c3, the blunder now would be b1 equals queen, double question mark. The answer, the winning move, see if you can find it first. And take a couple minutes, whatever, pause the video, and I'll be back in 3, 2, 1. Now in the sequence, I'll start again from the beginning. I always do this because this is how you win tournaments. All right? b3. Knight d5, b2 for black, knight to c3 for white. And then the winning move is knight to e4 check. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Yeah. I see all of this here in my brain. This is how you become a chess master. It's over now. Oh, what does that do? Are you high? Okay. I didn't even look at this. This is just no way this could work, right? b2, This doesn't, oh, okay. Yes, he has a threat. And this is my dad's golden rule coming back. He's playing a trap. If you go B2, he's going to play dun da da da. H7. What a freaking jerk. And I can't check him and come back and stop this. So that doesn't work. So the answer here is, do we play king to G8, in which case he could play check. That doesn't do anything. That just loses again. So that check doesn't do it. King to G8, knight to F4, B2, knight to D3 also fails. I could check him and then play knight to G5, but I'm wasting 2 moves here. I don't like it. Conceptually, this is not the way to go. This is the move, as you see why. Now, if I move this knight, let me mention one more thing, which I did not mention earlier. Possibly, it's not a big deal. It didn't matter. But objectively, I should have mentioned that the square of this pawn, when I played B3, is now 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3. As long as the king is outside of this 3 by 3 square, I can queen this pawn. If I move this knight, he gets to play king to D3. He's now in the square. He will stop this pawn. So the knight is a goner. Goodbye. I'm queening. So the main line I showed you because I saw the brilliancy sacrifice that they didn't even let me play those jerks. Okay? It's okay. It's not a big deal. He played king F2. Oops. Sorry. King F2. And here, B3, because knight D5 fails to B2. Knight to C3 fails because I knight check him. He has to play. It doesn't matter whether he plays knight, takes knight or not. He loses either way. But if he takes the knight, then I queen. It's the same thing. That was a brilliancy endgame sacrifice that you guys didn't get to see on the board. But it's okay because I explained it to you. Now, if you didn't have this explanation of what's going on and how to figure this out, it's quite a difficult problem to solve. Now, you could guess the correct move is B3, and it's probably the most guessed move if you surveyed 100 random players, and they would, at some point they would be playing B3 because they guessed that's probably the right move, but they wouldn't know why. It doesn't matter if you play the right move and you guess lucky and win, it still counts. It always counts. But the difference is the safety and satisfaction you feel by being able to calculate everything that you need to calculate to win is way more satisfying than getting lucky. It does happen. It's happened to me. It's happened to every chess player in tournaments. Okay? Clever, super clever move of knight h5. I never saw it. Not really. It's not a big threat. My dad's rule, golden rule. What's he trying to do to me? Well, we stop that with king g8 and it's over. You can just resign now. He did win my knight differently than how I was going to brilliantly let him win it. I queened, it doesn't matter. But that's the difference. This is what true skill looks like. I see this, and in an extremely short amount of time, I had deduced the win. Now, it says 6 minutes 42 seconds here, which is hidden behind my face. Okay? So right here, let me show you. I can't show it to you because it doesn't show up there. That's okay. That doesn't matter. Over my shoulder, over my right shoulder, right about here, where my hand is wiggling, that's where the clock is. It says how long this problem was before I solved it. It says 6 minutes 42 seconds. That's because my explanation was going. I didn't solve the problem on the board as fast as I saw it. That's not really that helpful. You would learn something, but not like what I just showed you. This is the money.